Hi, this is Jerry. I've got a question for you. If gold must pass through fire to become pure, why should we expect our character to grow without trials? Welcome to Proverbs 17:3. Have you ever looked back on a difficult season and realized that it made you stronger? What if your greatest struggle today is actually God's way of preparing you for tomorrow? When life gets difficult, do you see punishment or God's refining hand at work? If God examined your heart today, what qualities would He be pleased to find? And what might He still want to refine? The translation from Hebrew for this 17:3 proverb is the refining pot is for silver and the furnace for gold, but the Lord examines and tests the heart. Imagine a skilled refiner carefully heating silver and gold in a blazing furnace. The fire's intense, yet the refiner never leaves the metal. He watches it closely, removing every impurity until the precision metal reflects his own image. He sees his image in the reflection of the molten metal. That's what God does with us. God allows the fires of life not to destroy us, but to remove what does not belong, so that His character shines through us. Suppose everything in your life seemed to go wrong all at once. A close friend disappoints you. Your health weakens. Financial pressures grow. Doors you hoped that would open, well, they remain closed. Would you conclude that God had forgotten you? Or could it be He is patiently refining your heart for something much greater? If God was refining your life today, what qualities would He want to strengthen, and what impurities would He want to remove? King Solomon compares our hearts to precious metal. Silver and gold are valuable, but before they become beautiful and useful, they must pass through intense heat, the fire. See, the fire separates the pure metal from the impure that weakens it. Now, there's some words in the Hebrew language, matzrif, which means a refining pot or a crucible, the vessel used to purify the silver. There's another word, kur. This refers to a furnace where gold is refined through extreme heat. Most important is the word bochen. It means to examine, to test, to prove, or to search out carefully. God does not test us because He's unaware of what's in our heart. He tests us so that we can see what still needs to change, and so our faith becomes stronger, pure, and more like His Son. Now, we'll have trials, and they reveal our patience, our humility, our trust, our forgiveness, and our dependence upon God. Just as a refiner watches the furnace carefully, God never leaves us alone in our own trials. He controls both the heat and the timing. Now, an old silversmith was once asked how he knew when the silver was fully refined, he smiled and answered, when I can clearly see my own reflection in it. The Christian life is very much the same. God continues shaping us until the character of Christ is refined in our lives. Now, there's benefits for living this wisdom. When we accept God's refining work, our faith grows stronger. Our character becomes more like Christ. Our patience replaces frustration, and wisdom replaces pride. We learn to trust God's timing. Others see God's love through our lives. Now, of course, there's problems if we resist this proverb. When we refuse God's refining work, bitterness can replace faith. Pride remains unchallenged. We miss valuable spiritual growth. Small problems become overwhelming. And our relationship with God may grow kind of stagnant. Fire resist often leaves us unchanged. Fire accepted can transform us. Now let me leave you with some words of wisdom. King Solomon said, "The Lord tests the heart." Even Charles Spurgeon wrote, "God never allows a trial without a purpose. Every furnace is designed to make his children more like Christ." Now, a man prayed one day and he said, "Lord, please give me patience." And his friend smiled and he said, "Be careful. Tomorrow you might find yourself in the longest checkout line in town." I know that to be true. Sometimes God answers our prayers by giving us opportunities to grow. Let me leave you with a challenge for today. Next time you face a difficult situation, pause before asking, "Lord, why is this happening?" Instead, ask, "Lord, what are you trying to teach me through this?" Allow every challenge to become an opportunity for God to refine your heart. Let me leave you with this closing thought. Gold becomes valuable through the furnace. Silver becomes beautiful through refining. Our hearts become stronger when we allow God to shape us through every season of life. Now, this verse will be on the screen. Read it out loud and remember that every trial placed in God's hands can become part of His work of making you more like Christ. Have a great day.